All right, 8th graders, we're going to go through the systems review number 2 that you had for homework. I'm actually going to start at the end with the last question, the word problem, and then work our way backwards to the first question. So thing 1 and thing 2 went to the candy store and spent $50. Bubblegum cost $3 per pound, and licorice cost $2 per pound. They bought 19 pounds of candy total. So I'm underlining all the money pieces and then circling the number of items. So how many pounds of bubble gum did they buy, and how many pounds of licorice did they buy? So set up and solve an algebraic expression. So we're not guessing and checking. You have to use elimination here. So be sure to write two let statements. So I'm going to start with x is my first variable, and it represents the pounds of bubble gum that the thing 1 and thing 2 were buying. And then y is going to represent the pounds of licorice that they buy. So my two equations boil down to I have things about money and I have things about the number of items. So if they spent $50 total, that is made up of $3 times the number of pounds of bubble gum, which is x. In addition to that, $2 per pound of licorice, so $2 was paid y times to equal the 50. So the money stuff equals the total money. So the 19 pounds is again a total. The pounds made up of all the pounds of bubble gum plus all the pounds of licorice to get 19 total. So I see this is set up for elimination because I have the x's lined up to add like terms. I have the y's lined up to add like terms. But the problem is that neither x nor y canceled. So I gotta go back to the beginning here. 3 and 1 and 2 and 1. Doesn't matter which pair you choose, but I gotta choose a pair of numbers to cancel out. So I'm just gonna go with the 3 and 1 because it was the first one there. This 1 needs to become -3 to cancel with the +3, right? 3 plus -3 is 0. So if I multiply this by -3, it would cancel, but I have to do all three pieces by -3. So I'm going to get -3x minus 3y equals 19 times -3 is going to be -57. And then I just need to bring over this other one so all the like terms are together again. So now when I add them, the y should eliminate because I multiplied all the pieces by -3. The second equation is equivalent to this second equation. We just multiplied it by -3, so now the x's cancel. I have -1y equals -7. So if I divide both sides by -1, y is equal to 7. So that means they bought 7 pounds of licorice. Kind of gross. So then if I go back, it was x plus y equals 19. So something plus 7 equals 19. So that would mean, if I take away 7 on both sides, they ordered 12 pounds of bubble gum. So my solution, don't forget to go back, solution is always an x followed by the y. So it would be 12, 7. 12 pounds of bubble gum, 7 pounds of licorice, 19 pounds, $50 total. And if we go back to number 3 was the graphing one. So the solution is the point where they're going to intersect at. So first I have to take this top equation, y plus 6 equals 2x. To be able to graph, they have to be in y equals mx plus b form. So I need to get rid of this plus 6. So I'm going to subtract 6. So I'm left with y equals 2x minus 6. So then I know the constant of -6 is where I start on the y-axis. And it's a positive 2, so up 2, right 1, 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 up 2 more, up 2 more and right, and then reverse it down to left 1 and down to left 1. And then I'm going to connect those with my ruler, arrow, arrow, label it with the equation, y plus 6 equals 2x. So these are all the points on that line that we can see. And then if I switch my color here, the second equation, 2y equals 8 minus x. If I divide all the pieces by 2, I can isolate y will equal 4 minus, remember that's a 1/2 x. So I'm going to start at 4, which is positive. My slope is up or down first. It's going to be down 1 for this one for negative, and then to the right 2. The up-down movement is first, then the left-right. So down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. They share that one. Down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, and reverse it up and left 2, up and left 2, up and left 2, up and left 2, and one more. So I use my ruler to connect those guys. Arrow, arrow, and then label them y. 2y equals 8 minus x. So the solution here is the point that they share, which is 4 for x and 2 for y. So 4 comma 2. Now remember your checks, important pieces. About a third of the points are coming from your check. So I'm taking the original equation and plugging in 2 for y and plugging in 4 for x and making sure that it's equal. 2 plus 6 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8, so it's a point on the first line. Take the second original equation, take y, plug in 2 for y, so 2 times 2 should equal 8 minus x. So 4 does equal 4, so it fits in both. So the check is just taking the 2 original equations and plugging in the xy values. And number 2, we're using elimination, which is the same as what we used on that word problem. You can see that the x's are lined up and the y's are lined up in the number. So I'm going to add like terms vertically like you did in first grade there. 2x and 10x, that's 12x. 10y plus 5y, that's 15y. So I'm going to stop right there. Nothing eliminated, so I can't use it the way it is, but I can rewrite it. So if I go back and I look at the expressions, I have 2x and 10x. I can take 2 times 5 to make 10. But I also can take 5 times 2 to make 10. So you can choose either x or y. I'm just going to go with the first, the x's. It's right there. So 2 times 5 is 10, but I want negative 10, so I'm going to multiply by negative 5. But I have to do all 3 pieces of the equation to keep it the same equivalent equation. So that will become negative 10x minus 50y equals negative 5 times 46, which is negative 230. And I'm just going to bring this one over. The x's will cancel now. So negative 10x plus 10x cancel. Negative 50y plus 5y is negative 45y. Remember, the signs of your numbers are going to be important. And negative 230 plus 50 equals negative 180. So if I divide both sides by negative 45, I'm going to get that y is worth 4. So in the solution x comma y, the y is worth 4. Now I'm going to go back, pick one of the original equations. I'll just go with the top one. 2 times x plus 10 times y equals 46. So y is no longer a mystery. Y is worth 4. So 2 times x plus 10 times 4 is 46. So 2x plus 40 is 46. If I take away the 40, 2x equals 6, so x is worth 3. So if we did everything correctly, they would intersect at 3 comma 4. So my check is to make sure 3 for x and 4 for y is correct. So if I take 2 times x, which is worth 3, plus 10 times y, which is 4, we're supposed to get 46. So you can just type it in your calculator. That is 6 plus 40. So 46 will equal that 46. So it's a point on that line. Good. Then if I take the second one, 10 times x plus, hold on here, I'll pause real quick. All right, so that should be worked out here. So I'm taking 10x plus 5y. So it would be 5 times y, which is worth 4. And that should equal 50. So I can plug this half into the calculator. I'm going to go step by step. 30 plus 20 equals 50. So that one also works there. The checks are at least going to be a third of the points. So you set it up to eliminate the x, find the y, plug in to find the x, write your solution, do your check. And our last method after graphically and elimination is using substitution. So remember, elimination was to add to eliminate or get rid of one of the letters, right? We added to eliminate the x here. This time a substitute is going to fill in. They're going to fill in and replace. So substitution is going to fill in, replace. So I can see y is isolated and it's equal to 4x plus 5. So in this spot, anywhere there's a y, I'm going to plug in 4x plus 5. So I'm going to take this equation right here and I'm going to rewrite it using the substitute. So 3 times x plus 2 times y substitute, so no more y. The substitute is 4x plus 5. that equals 43. So instead of y, we're plugging in the 4x plus 5. So now I have only x in this, I can solve it. In the last one, we eliminated to just have y, and here we replaced y with the substitute. So I'm going to distribute. So I still have 3x, plus 2 times 4x is 8x, 2 times 5, that would be 10, equals 43. So let's see, 3x and 8x, that's 11x, plus 10 equals 43. So take away your 10. 11x equals 33. So that would mean x is worth 3. So when we did graph these 3 comma something, because every solution is an x and a y, now that I know x is worth 3, I can go back, pick one of the original equations. This guy's probably the easier one. So y is worth 4 times 3, because x isn't a mystery, it's worth 3. 4 times 3 plus 5, so 12 plus 5 more. Y is worth 17. So 3 comma 17 is where those two lines would meet if we graphed them. So my check, which is a third of the points here, take y equals 4x plus 5. 17 should equal 4 times 3 plus 5. 12 plus 5, 17 does work out. Second equation is 3x plus 2y equals 43. So 3 times x plus 2 times y. So let's have 9 plus 34. 43 does equal 43, so it checks out. So that's a quick review of the extended response questions. Don't forget you have that quizzes assignment that you can check to get some more review for the multiple choice.